Hello and welcome to A Quest for Metal. Today we are ranking Blind Guardian albums from my least favourite to my favourite. I put a poll out for you guys and you guys voted for Blind fucking Guardian. And I'm glad you did, because out of everything on that poll, Blind Guardian's easily my favourite out of all of them. So good job to you guys who voted. Now, this is going to be a hard ranking because I love all of these albums and we've done a tier list in the past, but I'm not a big fan of tier lists because you could just group everything into just, everything's S tier. And it's not quite as fun as ranking them like this, because then you see the true colours of what's the worst and what's the fucking best. So, before I get started on my list, pop yours down below. What's your least favourite Blind Guardian album? What's your most favourite? And I guess let's get stuck in with my least favourite, which is Battalions of Fear. It is Battalions of Fear, the debut by these guys. Now, that's not to say this is a bad album, because Blind Guardian don't do bad albums. They just don't. And this one is really fun. It's more on the kind of speed metal-y, more like American power metal, you could say. More like the, Brethrens in Iced Earth. More like them than the Euro power of, say, like a Rhapsody of Fire or later Blind Guardian or Halloween. It is more fast. It's more speedy. And that's probably the reason I dislike it as much as some of the others, because I do like the more kind of overblown, the really properly Dungeons and Dragons fantasy stuff. That appeals to me more. Now, it's not to say that isn't on this album, because it is, with the lyrics. But it's just the overall sound of it, just not as good as some of the others. Some people have this, like, the first. Some people prefer this early stuff, and good for them. For me, it's coming in last, although it has one of my favourite songs by the band on. Whoa, Majesty. Oh, so goddamn good. If you've heard the live album, Live Beyond the Spheres, with a triple disc, oh, it's so good live. It's like one of the best Blind Guardian live songs. Adore it. Adore all the songs in this album. It's just, I am comparing it to itself, okay? I'm comparing Blind Guardian to Blind Guardian. So just because it's last doesn't mean it's bad. All these are worth checking out. And if you like American Power, you'll probably like this one a lot more than me. So next up is, swapping gears completely, A Twist in the Myth. That's right. This is on the more European power kind of side of stuff, the more epic, bombastic sound. But this album lacks spark. Compared to some of the others, Twist in the Myth lacks spark. Like, compared to, like, At the Edge of Time, it's kind of like night and day. There is some great songs on here as well, but a lot of them, well, not a lot of them, but some of them are kind of just like, it's pretty good. But then the other half are like, holy shit, this fucking slaps. Like Fly is such an amazing song. Teach you how to fly and Turn the Page with a kind of like minstrelsque melody to it. I love those songs. Another Stranger Me as well. And Skulls and Shadows. Skulls and Shadows is goddamn phenomenal. So this has some amazing songs on, but a lot of the ones in between are just kind of there. They're just kind of fine. They don't really tickle my fancy as much as some of the other ones where the whole album's consistent. This is a bit spotty, so I am going to put it second to last. It's still great though, so I'd still recommend it. So next up is, of course, Follow the Blind, going back to the early days, more speed one. But this is a massive step up from Battalions of Fear, in my opinion. This just improved on it every conceivable fucking way. I mean, Banished from Sanctuary, holy shit, that album, that song live, again, fucking phenomenal. It's a classic. And of course, Valhalla, Deliverance, Why'd You Ever Forgot Me? When they play that live as well, and just the whole crowd singing, because I was at the Bloodstock show when they did it, and they just kept singing and singing and singing and singing, even after the lights were down. Oh, it's beautiful. One of the best songs they've ever done. But again, it is on the earlier side of things, so I have my preferences. Although this is a classic album, it's one of the best in power metal. For me, it's still only number 3, is it, on this list? So next up for me is Beyond the Red Mirror. I know Jamie Horsley likes this one. I think this is his favourite. Spoiling his fucking list before he does it. He loves this album. He didn't really like any of the other albums until he heard this one. And this is just such a grand scope album. This is such a grand album. It's kind of like a sequel to Imaginations from the Other Side. Love the artwork. Kind of reminds me of World of Warcraft, the Burning Crusade. I don't know why it pops into my head, but you know, the doorway just reminds me of that. I love some of the songs on here. They are so just epic in sound, and the sound quality on here, fucking perfection. Starting off with the Ninth Wave. What a great way to start the fucking album. That's a masterpiece. Prophecies is amazing as well. And one of my favourites is the Grand Parade. How epic is that song? Another long one that they've done. And it's just so full of twists and turns that you can't help but smile all the way through. This is an epic album. This is just a grand album. And I want to listen to it again and again and again. And it pains me to put this lower than some of the others, because I do love this one. But I've had more time with the others. So let's move on before we start fucking crying. So, Tales from the Twilight World is next. This is a masterpiece. I fucking adore this one. From here on out, I love these albums, and it pains me to put any higher than others. And this one's so fucking good. Welcome to Dying. Oh, Traveller in Time. My favourite Blind Guardian songs on this one, Lord of the Rings. It isn't the live version, but it's still a great version. I fucking love Lord of the Rings, the movies and the song. Then you have Tommy Knockers. That's such a fun song. And The Last Candle is underrated as hell. The Last Candle is a masterpiece. I'm tempted to put this one higher now. Now that I'm talking about it, I'm tempted to put it higher, but it's where it's sitting on the list at the moment. I still love it. It's still a 10 for me, so fuck it. It's awesome. Next up is At the Edge of Time. This one, I always have a parallel with Twist in the Myth, but this one's just fucking banger after banger after fucking banger. Doesn't slow down, and they're all masterpieces. Sacred Worlds being such a amazing way to kick off the album. A sequel to Tanalorn, like Tanalorn Into the Void. So good. Right Into Obsession, maybe my favourite song on the fucking album. Holy shit, that song is intense, and just the chorus is so goddamn catchy. Of course, Voice in the Dark, about Bran Stark. Amazing video as well. Hansi looks so cool in that one, he just looks like a teacher. Just, I love that video. And then there's Wheel of Time, which is another epic, which they're doing, I think, an Amazon show about that soon. Hopefully that's as good as Game of Thrones' first, 6 seasons. Don't talk about the rest. But yeah, amazing album. I want to listen to this again and again, just like all the others. You can tell this is one of my favourite bands. Love this one. Let's move on. Now it gets fucking hard. Next up is A Night at the Opera. I fucking adore this one. Loads of people hate it because it's too bombastic. It's too epic. There's so much going on. They don't play a lot of these songs live because it's just... there's too much going on in these songs, but that's why I love it. I love the bombastic nature of this album. I love how grand it is. You feel like the minstrels are dancing around you. You're in a grand hall with all these characters. I adore the sound of this album. And this has some of my favourite songs they've ever done. Come to me, my precious Jerusalem. Oh my god, Precious Jerusalem. Fucking stellar. And of course, Under the Ice. Under the ice you will be free. I'll stop singing eventually. Not quite yet though. Because here on this battlefield is lost. Here on the battlefield is lost. I'm so bad, I set the dogs off. So maybe I should stop singing, because the dog's going wild now. And of course, the grand opus, the epic, and then there was Silence, which is like the longest song they've ever done. It's a masterpiece, and in the middle where he sings, and then there was silence. Whole shivers down the spine every fucking time. Such an epic album, don't see the hate for this one. Gonna love it, gonna put it here at my number 4. Now it gets really goddamn hard, because these three are just interchangeable. They really are. But which one's the best? Which one is the best? Number 3, I'm gonna go with Imaginations from the Other Side. Widely considered the best album, and I can't really argue with it because all these songs are amazing. I just prefer songs on the other 2 albums. But come on, you got the title track, Imagination from the Other Side, which is so goddamn good. You got Mordred's song, which is so beautiful. I love the lyrics in that one. And the story, oh... Okay. Enough of that, Questy. Stop going mad. I'm gonna have to do a Blind Guardian cut like I did with my Sugar. Yeah, I adore this album. Bright Eyes as well. Come on, Bright Eyes is a top 10 Blind Guardian song. Easy. This is a masterpiece, and it's one of the best power metal albums ever made, and it's my number fucking 3. So, my number 2, what's it gonna be? I had a hard time with this one, but I'm going with Nightfall and Middleearth. That's correct. Nightfall and Middleearth is my number 2. It's my number 1 for a long time, but re-listening to it, I don't really like the interludes. So if I took every single interlude out of it, I know it makes the story, sure, whatever, but I don't really listen to them. So if I took them all out, maybe it'd be my number 1. But I just think my number 1 is just perfect. It's like fucking perfect. This one's almost perfect, but because of those interludes, yeah, it is coming here. But the other songs in between, holy shit. Nightfall, it's amazing. Time Stands Still at the Iron Hill, come the fuck on. Mirror Mirror, Blood Tears, Thorns, it's a masterpiece based on the Silmarillion, I don't know how to say it, but yeah. Fucking nerdy as shit. I love it. The songs are classics, amazing songs live. It's a perfect album. It's Nightfall and Middleearth. It's the best art they've ever done. What more do you fucking want? It's amazing. 10 out of 10. Go fucking listen to it. So that leaves number 1, which is, of course, the last one. Somewhere Far Beyond, which is one of my favourite songs of all time. Somewhere far beyond your reality. That's a masterpiece of a song. About the Dark Tower. It's so fucking good. The bagpipe section in the middle, holy shit, that song is perfection. Time What Is Time, Journey Through the Dark, the Bard song, the fucking Bard song, the Hobbit version as well, not just the fucking normal one, but the Hobbit version as well. And then my channel, that's correct, Quest for Metal, is named from a song on this album. Yeah, it's not named from A Quest for Fire, because I don't fucking like that song. It's named from Quest for Tanalorn, because I love Quest for Tanalorn. It's on this fucking album. This album represents my fucking channel, so of course it's going to be number 1. It's amazing. On a quest for Tanalorn. Woo, wee, woo, wee, woo. It's so good. Yeah, I love it. Now that comes to the end of the video, so you can, like, put your hands off your ears now, so you won't have to listen to me torture you. I love all these albums. They're all fantastic, but Somewhere Far Beyond is my fucking favourite. So, hopefully you guys had some fun. Let me know down below your favourite Blind Guardian albums, what's your least favourites, and we'll see you again on another Quest for Metal.